What's up, everybody? This is Jermaine with Healthy Living Florida Style. So, if you've been watching the news, you know that it's a hurricane expected to hit landfall in Florida. I live in Florida, just outside Tampa Bay. And right now, what I'm going to do is get ready for it. So we're in a bit of hurricane prep, my wife and I, and we're going to do the best we can. Everyone talks all the time, and you hear all the tips about what to do with your house. But if you have a garden, hey, I mean, we have to get ahead of it. So they're expecting the hurricane to touch down on Thursday. I'm recording this now. This is Tuesday afternoon. So I'm about to start my hurricane prep. So let's go. So right now we only have a couple trees that are staked in the ground, as you see on this side of our yard. I'm going to go to Home Depot and get some more stakes, and I'm going to stake these new trees. This was just recently planted. I'm going to stake these trees down. Staking is a good way just to provide some extra security for the trees so it's not moving about too much. And we're going to go from there. Now on this side of our backyard, we have a few things in pots. These pots are pretty heavy, but I'm still gonna move them over to the side and possibly bring them in, determining later on when we find out the category of the hurricane. But look at those juicy figs coming along. Pots like that, our mango tree, of course, we're gonna bring that in. And some of these trees over here, I'm not going to stake any banana trees. They'll be fine. And anything that's been in the ground for a while, they'll be fine too. But what we're going to do is I'm going to have to move things like my son's baseball bats, lights, anything that can come out the ground, we're going to definitely move. Bags of soil. So on this side, I'm gonna have to take all of this because this can fly and hit my neighbor's house. We don't want that. So completely move all of this, move all of this. These are pretty heavy, so we're not gonna bring them in. If I'm not able to pick them up easily or even with a little bit of effort, then I think they'll be somewhat fine here. So what I'm gonna do is put some cement blocks in them just to give them some extra weight. So they should be fine. They're not going to move. I'll use these cement blocks here and just give them some extra weight. Obviously, there's no staking going on with our popcorn. These little trees in the back too as well. We're just going to pray for the best and hope we get through it. Our newly planted banana row here in the back should be fine as well. It's right up against the wall. It's less wind back here right up against this wall. They should be fine. But we have so many bananas, and bananas grow quick. So if we lose a few, although it will hurt, we don't want to lose any plants. But if we lose a few bananas, we're not going to be upset about that because we have plenty. Our banana trees that have fruit on it, we're going to make sure we stake these a little bit better than this. This is fine without wind, but with the amount of wind that we're getting, this is definitely going to fall over. So I'm going to apply a few more stakes, a few more support to help our banana trees. Like this one as well, we have quite a few that's fruiting around the house, so we're going to have to provide some type of support for these during the hurricane. Okay, so in the garden, I'm looking around, and things like this, we're going to have to get up off the floor because they will fly. One thing I learned from previous hurricanes is not smart to cover your garden beds. You think that if you cover your garden beds and you put some, a cloth or a sheet and then put some bricks or stake it down, that'll be fine. It's not a smart thing because what happens is, if that hurricane, if you can't go outside for a day or 2 days because of the heavy rain, what's going to happen is you're going to end up killing your plants. So it's really not worth it. Another thing I learned about garden beds and during hurricanes and just plants in general, sacrificing water, like not watering for a couple days leading up to the hurricane doesn't help. You can actually kill your plants because when they're getting that 8, 10, 15 inches, however many inches we get of rain, it's a little bit too much for them when you withheld water for a couple days from them. So I have learned it's better just to continue your normal watering schedule. So we will be watering all our plants around our backyard today as normal. If it hits on Thursday, possibly Wednesday, if it's not too hot outside, we might skip the water on Wednesday, depending on when the hurricane is suggested to hit on Thursday. But that's it, just a day before, just hours, 12 hours or so before, if it's not too hot and humid. So we'll see. We've had a papaya tree with papayas on it a few years ago snap in half due to a hurricane. Papayas are not that strong when it comes to taking hurricane wind like other trees can, like a mango tree that's somewhat deep rooted. So with this papaya tree and our others, we'll probably stake these a little bit better. As you see, we have one here, so we're going to tie this down a little bit better. In past experience, papayas just do not do well with any type of wind. So I'm gonna make sure this mango tree is a little bit better secured, but this held up a little hurricane scare we had a few months ago. We had some good wind. I believe it was like 40 miles per hour wind. It held up fine. It looks like this is going to be a little bit more, so I'm going to make sure we make adjustments accordingly. And again, we have another tree here, so I'm going to make sure we adjust this accordingly as well. Just got a delivery. Yep. A couple days before the hurricane, still getting fruit trees delivered. But this is a special one because this is our very first avocado tree that we're gonna have. So this is a very special one. Our very first avocado tree. It has arrived very healthy. So we'll get this guy in the ground after the hurricane. So got another propane tank, just a few stakes, some more stakes, some plant wire, and we got some clamps. So just a few extra things just to secure things down.